You know what they don't understand? They're asking men to go die in an economy where you can't even afford to live. Let that sink all the way in. They're asking a father, a provider, the backbone of a household, to walk away from everything he's built, everything he's holding together by sheer will, and step into something that can take his body, his mind, or his life in a single moment. Not metaphorically, literally. To come back missing pieces of himself, if he comes back at all, and for what? So his kids can grow up learning what grief sounds like through a phone call? So his wife can sit at a kitchen table staring at bills she already couldn't pay before he left? So his family gets a folded flag, a scripted sentence, and a lifetime of silence where his voice used to be? That's the offer, that's the deal you're putting on the table, and you expect people to line up for it. No. No man with any sense of reality is signing that contract, and don't even try to dress it up as patriotism. Patriotism didn't disappear. You exhausted it. You stretched it thin, used it as leverage, spent it like it was infinite, and now you're shocked there's nothing left to draw from. Because if this country was truly attacked, if people felt deep in their bones that their homes, their children, their future were on the line, you wouldn't need speeches, you wouldn't need recruitment campaigns, you wouldn't need pressure. People would go. They always have. But this isn't that. This is calculated. This is layered. This is something that's been building quietly, strategically for years, and now you want to cash it out with other people's lives. And people can feel the difference. They might not articulate it perfectly, but they know when something isn't about survival. They know when something isn't about them. And that's the problem. Because the reality you refuse to face is this: the average family is already barely holding on. One income isn't enough. Two incomes barely keep the lights on. Savings are gone, debt is normal, stress is constant. So now you're asking someone to remove the one thing keeping that structure from collapsing and call it honor. Hey, I'm gonna go risk everything. If I make it back, I might not be the same person. If I don't figure it out, that's not noble. That's a system setting families up to break and calling it duty. And then we get to the part everyone tries not to look at too closely, the aftermath. The ones who did go, the ones who did everything that was asked of them, the ones who came back and had to fight just to be seen, just to be treated, just to be taken care of. You celebrate them in words and abandon them in practice, and you think the next generation doesn't notice. You think they're not watching how this ends. You think they don't see the gap between what's promised and what's real. They do, and that's why this isn't working anymore. Because what you're asking for now isn't defense, it's compliance. It's sacrifice without clarity. It's risk without security. It's everything on the line for something that doesn't feel like it belongs to them. You built a military with the strength of a nation behind it. Money, lives, time, belief. And now you're treating it like it's something to be deployed for anything, anywhere, at any time, as if the cost isn't carried by real people with real families and real consequences waiting on the other side. No, that's where this breaks. America is not a tool to be used on demand. American families are not expendable, and the people you're asking to step forward are not disconnected from what happens after they do. They're thinking it through. They're running the numbers. They're looking at the reality, not the speech. And they're asking a very simple question. What happens to the people I love if I don't come back the same or don't come back at all? And right now, you don't have an answer that holds, so no. You don't get blind loyalty. You don't get automatic sacrifice. You don't get to stand on a stage, wrap this in words, and expect people to ignore everything they can clearly see. If you want war, then carry it. Own it. Put your own skin in it. Put your own bloodline in it. Put your own future on the line for it. But don't look at a population already stretched to its limits and ask them to give the one thing they can't replace and call it honorable. Because here's the truth that isn't landing the way you think it is. People don't fear sacrifice. They fear meaninglessness. They fear leaving everything behind for something that was never truly about protecting what matters most. And right now, that's exactly what this feels like.